Well, no, Rev, you ready for this shit?
Wait a minute. Which movie are we watching?
Die Hard.
Which one?
The newest one.
Fuck!
Welcome back, everybody. We're the Microphone Joes, and this is the Microphone Joes shit show, where we watch a terrible movie, we drink beer as we watch it, and we let you know how bad it is on a rating of 1 to 6 beers. This week, because of Death Wish coming out, and we're going to be talking about the tragic career of Bruce Willis, we are watching the newest Die Hard, which, at least in my opinion, and I think yours, No Rev, this is the worst Bruce Willis movie out there. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I hate to admit this, but I own this movie. I'm a completionist. I own all the Die Hard movies. I had to have this one as well. If I start a series, I have to own all of them.
At least you're committed.
There's a lot of dust on this one, though. I have not watched it once since I bought it. I just bought it and put it on the shelf.
Oh.
Because I've only watched this movie one time, and it was with you. We went to see it opening night because we were really hopeful about this movie.
Yeah.
I remember coming out, and I don't remember hating it that night. I feel like we were kind of in...
we were in nostalgia.
Like Stockholm Syndrome.
Yeah.
For this. So they call it the Phantom Menace Syndrome.
Yeah. That's very... That's
but the
spot on. Nail on the
more
head.
I thought about it, the days and weeks afterwards, I realized this movie is shite.
It is. It is straight bullshit.
So, do you have anything you want to say before we go watch it for the second time?
No.
No? Bruce Willis...
This movie is probably not even deserving of words.
No, so what I want to say real quick is Bruce Willis is like one of my hero action stars growing up.
Yeah.
So this pains me. Lately, his career has pained me. So, we're going to go watch this piece of shit, and we will come back with our thoughts. So, wish us luck.
We're going to need it.
Microphone Joe, what they'll talk about, nobody knows. Microphone Joe's show.
Well, that was not as bad as I was expecting.
No, I was reasonably surprised.
Yeah, so I think if you go into this movie just expecting a brain dead action movie, that's what you're going to get.
Yeah.
And the parts of this movie that kind of suck are the villain's plot, his plan,
it was super convoluted. It was ridiculously convoluted, in fact.
the camera work.
Yeah, really fucking shaky, a lot of cutting, and just should have just been a still frame.
Yeah, and Jai Courtney. Jai Courtney is no good in this.
No.
My first point, Jai Courtney is the kiss of death on movies.
Yeah, I mean, like you said earlier, off air, Jai Courtney, pretty much the only good role that he had was Boomerang, or Captain Boomerang. That's because he was just fucking nuts.
He was just batshit insane in that movie, yeah. So, I guess we'll kind of give a quick rundown of the movie. So, Jai Courtney is Bruce Willis's kid. He's been arrested in Moscow. There's some political thing going on between these two guys. The one is kind of painted as this sympathetic, was a bad guy, not a bad guy anymore. John McClane goes to rescue him, and they try to... The politician is trying to kill the guy.
Yeah.
And there's this...
The evil politician.
The evil politician. Well, the other one just isn't a politician, I think. I think he's just a scientist or something.
No.
There's an attack on the courthouse, and that leads to the first big action sequence of the movie. So there's like... it must have been at least 3-minute long car chase.
Yeah.
And
I would go as further as to say at least like 5.
Yeah, 3 to 6 minutes long.
Yeah.
It's not bad, honestly, if the camera work was better.
Right.
It's a good car chase. A lot of...
They murdered so many people.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Before that happened, though, I have a question, and this pertains to a lot of movies. So, right, the way they blow up the courthouse and get in, the bad guys, is 3 black sedans pull up that are rigged with explosives. Have people in movies ever watched movies?
I guess not.
Black cars?
Especially a caravan of black cars.
Yeah, they're never a good thing.
Shouldn't there be security around this whole, like...
There was, yeah. And that's what I'm going to get back to that. But the car chase was basically a car chase intercut with random shots of each of the characters yelling random lines.
Yeah, just like one line
Yeah, no point. Just yelling lines. Yeah, so this car chase goes on forever across this huge interstate. A lot of people die.
A lot of people died.
Until the very end, not once, except at the very end, and one cop car shows up.
Yeah.
One cop car with one cop in it.
I think, like, one cop car shows up in this whole movie, as a matter of fact.
Pretty much, except right at the beginning when they show a bunch of them at the courthouse. So that leaves me to wonder, were all the cops there, and did they all die at that explosion?
Yeah, you'd think they would have had to. And that one cop car was the one guy left behind to monitor the fucking... the
whole city!
Yeah, the whole city.
The other thing was, during the whole chase, I guess we'll call him, like, until the very end, the main villain of the movie is, like, a mercenary, a Russian mercenary. They call him the Dancer. I don't think he has a name.
I don't think so.
He's in the armored vehicle, and he keeps speaking English.
To the other Russian people.
To the other Russians. They're in a car full of Russians, and he keeps talking in English, and I wrote down in my notepad, check back if it keeps going. And sure enough, it does. The rest of the movie, they sporadically switch to Russian, but for the most part, the Russians, amongst Russians, only speak English.
Yeah, except for one exception, but we'll get to that here in a minute.
Yeah, so so Bruce Willis hijacks, like, this truck. I guess it's like an old fashioned rig.
Yeah, it had to have been like a light heavy vehicle or something.
Yeah, and he loses that one, and he steals a Mercedes, like a Jeep Mercedes. And the bad guys are in this armored vehicle, and the whole time, and they are just crushing everything. They take out this stone monument, like one of those old fashioned monuments. Yeah. Nothing stops them. This Mercedes stops them
and rams them off the road. Yeah. Like, how is it that this car is driving through just crowds and crowds of traffic and nothing is stopping him?
Yeah, it's destroying everything in its way. So Mercedes, that's a German car, right?
Yeah.
Revenge for World War II.
Also, while we're on the subject of this car chase, before any of this happened, John McClane is still trying to rescue his son or whatever from Russian prison. He hops out of the car because of too much traffic, and it seems like everybody that was in this traffic jam was getting out of their car and just walking.
Yeah, I noticed.
Wouldn't that be the cause for the traffic jam in the first place?
I noticed too. His taxi driver. So I don't know how Russian cars work, but his taxi driver's on the right side.
Yeah.
And every car we see in the movie, the left side, it's like American cars. And I noticed the people getting out of the cars was from the driver's side. So of course you have a traffic jam. They're just getting out of their cars and walking away.
Exactly.
Russian traffic, man. So this whole chase sequence gets over. They escape. Jai Courtney works for the CIA. McClane didn't know that. They go to the safe house. They get attacked there, and they're trying to escape. And McClane grabs an assault rifle, and he's like, cover fire. But what got me was, as he's shooting, the Russian, I think these were like a Russian army or something. Yeah. I don't think they were the bad guys. They keep running in, and there's a door and a hall, and the door to where McClane is, and he just keeps gunning them down. They just keep running right into them.
Obviously you see all these other people getting mowed down.
I mean,
Wouldn't you go a different way?
There's 6 of them that die, and the rest just keep coming in. It's
like, just, lemmings, man. Just like lemmings.
Down! Get down! Go! Get down! Go! John, cover!
The other thing that got me too, so it keeps going. They go to the hotel.
Yeah.
The key is hidden that this Russian scientist or whatever is looking for, and then we really meet the dancer.
Yeah.
And we find that they take the scientist away, and the dancer's going to kill the 2 McClanes, and he goes into the very stereotypical bad guy monologue. And they made 2 interesting choices here. The first one was he's eating a carrot while doing it and tap dancing.
Yeah.
And I couldn't decide if it was good, they were good choices, or just so weird I can't definitively say it was bad.
Welcome, America. Give me your weapons. Thank you. Hi. I don't know if I'm saying this right. Hi. Do you know what I hate about the Americans? Everything. Could have been a dancer. I swear to God.
And I will tell you, it was probably the latter of the two.
Yeah.
Because that was very off-putting. Like, was he trying to be like Bugs Bunny, or was he trying to be a tap? I don't get it.
So they escape, of course, and they get away. They shouldn't have survived. Some crazy shit happens, and they drive out to Chernobyl. Also, I want to mention that McClane doesn't use any actual names of any Russian anything. He calls the scientist Papa Geppetto. He calls Chernobyl. I can't remember what he calls Chernobyl.
Grenoble.
Yeah, he calls it Grenoble.
What? Это Москва! Не будет станции! Да! Do you think I understand a word you're saying?
He just, I mean, Bruce Willis in this movie is really good. He's told John McClane he's an asshole. He doesn't give a fuck, but he keeps yelling. What's he keep yelling throughout the movie?
Oh, this is my vacation!
Yeah, vacation or something like that.
What fucking vacation?
I'm on vacation!
So they get to Chernobyl, the scientists with the bad guys, and they open the vault. So they're looking for a file that can bring down. The scientists supposedly created a file on the politician that will bring him down. They go into the vault, and it's full of weapons-grade plutonium.
Uranium.
And one of the villains of the crew of the dancer, this is getting really convoluted. It is convoluted. Is his daughter, the scientist, and she kills the dancer. And it turns out that the scientist kills the dancer. Wow, this is confusing.
The scientist ends up killing the dancer. We all thought that he was just a scientist. Turns out he's the bad guy pulling the strings the whole time.
So he wanted to get all that uranium to sell it. It's all his uranium. And then he calls the politician who's getting a massage. And this is more convolutedness because he had to know that the politician was going to be exactly where he was
at the exact time, at the exact room,
and have hired somebody to be there because while he's on the phone with him, the politician is assassinated.
Yeah.
So the McClanes show up. They go in and they don't realize at first that he's the bad guy, and they finally corner him. They figure it out. And he starts his monologue, which his monologue makes sense because he's using it to delay. But what got me was he reaches into his coat, very obviously, and hits his walkie-talkie.
Yeah.
And it goes, bleep, bleep. And that's to let the audience know he's pressed it. But it's loud.
Yeah.
How did they not hear that?
I have no idea.
Because then everything he says and they say, everybody on the crew, which, by the way, this crew, hired by the dancer, I would assume, as soon as he's killed, they all just take side with
the scientist.
Either, like, I thought maybe they were all in on it, or you said, what did you say about them? They're just like the worst followers ever.
Oh, yeah. They're all basically just sheep, you know?
Yeah.
They're the worst fucking followers ever.
Yeah. And the very last thing I had was right before the last big action set piece, after the villain's monologue, Jai Courtney just headbutts this dude.
I'm not that smart. I'm just on vacation. My boy here. I'm gonna put a whooping on you.
Why do you lead with a headbutt?
Nobody wins with a headbutt.
Nobody wins with a headbutt.
Man, I'm telling you, take my word for this. Nobody wins. It hurts everybody.
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much over. I mean, there's a big fight at the end. They kill the scientist, throw him into the helicopter blades,
which was pretty brutal.
And then
especially too because his the scientist's daughter, who turns out to be a villain or whatever, also, but she was actually driving the helicopter, so technically she killed her own father.
Yeah.
What a shame your father won't be alive to see you promoted. Neither will you.
did get in that scene the very famous line from John McClane.
The shit we do for our kids.
Yippie Ki Yay Motherfucker.
So we did get that. And then it's over.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll wrap my thoughts up saying, once again, editing, the plot, and Jai Courtney. Jai Courtney is just, he's bland. He's
Always.
so bland. But if you just are here for John McClane, Bruce Willis, it's a good movie.
Yeah, you definitely get that.
Yeah, it's good if that's all you want. You got anything else?
No, you pretty much nailed it on the head.
Yeah, so it's 2 weeks in a row where it wasn't a good movie, but it wasn't as bad as I was expecting.
Yeah.
It's definitely not as good as the other Die Hard movies.
Hmm.
But there was parts I enjoyed.
Yeah.
A lot, so. All right, well, I think that's it for us, right?
Yep.
I'm all good. So I'm CJC.
And I'm No Rev.
Please like, share, subscribe to us on all social media platforms. And we are the Microphone Joes. And we will see you next time.
Yippee Ki Yay, motherfucker.
Yippee Ki Yay, motherfucker. Yippee Ki Yay, motherfucker. Yippee Ki Yay, motherfucker. Yippee Ki Yay, motherfucker.
Yippie Ki Yay Motherfucker.